Let's just from Echo Park. Hold on. Let me start this again. Let me get my snacks.
From the mean streets of Echo Park.
Who am I, guys?
Why is he always eating something?
He's always eating something. Always. Oh no, we lost him. What did Gal Gadot's character say? 2-pack a day guy.
Yeah, that's right. Which we will get into.
Yes.
Eventually. Okay, so here we go. Episode 3 from Echo Park to space, a Fast and Furious countdown to F9. We are, fellas, I don't know where we start. I don't know what state this is, but in 10 minutes, we're in Tokyo. I don't know exactly what state we are. I think I would love to guess.
He's in Alabama. He's in Alabama.
No, you want to guess? I know the answer.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
I really honestly thought it was the Valley.
Ooh, close.
No, it's Alabama, isn't it?
No.
It just his accent because they move around a ton.
Yeah.
Because he's so bad.
Arizona.
Oh,
Yeah.
That makes sense. I definitely got an Arizona douchebag vibe from the football player, dude.
I was gonna say before we skip over the whole high school situation.
Oh, we're getting there.
Where he gets. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. I'll. Yeah.
Okay. So we will start with the movie, which is fantastic. I don't know where everybody aligns in this. I do think that this movie is the most different of all the movies, essentially because it's like a teen movie, and they were like trying to gauge a different market. I don't know the reasoning behind the movie, but I still love it. I still think it's great. The intro is very cool. We start in a high school, and we meet our main protagonist.
The worst high school ever.
The weirdest high school of all time.
Strange.
Because there were metal detectors.
Yeah.
And it was just all white people. And then
there was a few black people like sprinkled into the crowd, but
very few.
A little bit of pepper there.
Which was so confusing because at one point, like we find out later on, there is a very wealthy character, which we'll get to. But I just want to get this off my chest, and then we can we can move around. But this is White Belly, Ben. This is the intro to Belly. Think about it. John, you know what I'm talking about?
No clue.
Have you ever seen Belly?
No.
Okay.
Oh, John.
You got
ready for some gangster shit. We have to review that after John watches it. It'll be hilarious to see John's take on it.
So Belly, the intro to Belly is a movie with Nas and DMX, and it's got the most iconic intro. In my opinion, it's the greatest intro of all time in any movie. And it really is like, it seems like, shout out to Justin Lin who directed the fuck out of this movie.
Yeah,
there were shots where I was like, okay, dog. It was very reminiscent of Belly with the slow motion, and Luke and Sean, the character played by Lucas Black, who I'm probably gonna end up calling him Lucas all the time, was walking through. It's a slow-mo of Lucas Black walking through his school. He's so over it, guys. He's so over it. It's the classic teen in combat boot who's just over everything, who judges everybody.
Do you see what's happening in the background in one of those scenes? Is they're literally beating the shit out of an Indian character.
Were they?
Wait, in the garage? You're talking about?
Yeah, all the banners. No, before as he's walking through the school, there's like they're having a rally saying "Beat the Indians." And they have like a Indian hanging from a rope.
I really hope that is a football team. I thought you meant like a Middle Eastern team.
Oh no!
I thought you were talking about the kid in the garage. I was like,
no. The mascot.
Like, damn, maybe Armenian. Damn.
Just Armenians in Arizona.
Arizona, bro.
Arizona.
It's different. Okay. It's different out there. That should be the motto.
Different time.
So he's defiant in nature. He's confident. He's cool. He's over high school. He's over everything. He walks in slow motion.
Looks 30.
He is. This is.
I mean, he's just over the period. The Permian Panthers. So he was like, we lost the state championship. Fuck this dude. Like my life has been shit, man. No more Friday Night Lights for me.
all the teenagers, in fact, actually were 32. I couldn't believe how he had wrinkles, dude. Like, he had wrinkles. Like, it was truly impressive that they thought that they could get away with this on any level, and that nobody. By the way, the movie felt like it was made in 1998. It felt like it was 1,000 years old.
Yeah, it did.
The hair, I didn't like the fashion choices. I feel like they could have cut his hair different to make him look younger, and they could have dressed him better to make him look a little bit younger.
I agree with you. They also could have just casted a younger dude, but I do think
just a better cast.
just cast a different actor.
Hey, Ben, you know what can really solve all those problems? Just cast a younger fucking actor.
Yeah.
But can I say this? And it's not even as if like finding a better actor would be difficult. It like, I think he does a really good job, but I also don't think like it was that difficult to find. Like, you know who should have played this guy?
Channing Tatum.
I feel like they honestly could have just put Paul Walker in it and just fucking just aged everybody up, dude. And it would have still been dope.
I really think Ryan Gosling should have been the guy. Think about it. Confident and defiant, edgy throughout. He would have brought some funniness to it that I don't think this dude was able to bring.
Yeah.
I think he would have just been great at it. No one's better at being confident, and no one's better at acting as if they can fuck your chick anytime they want, and there's nothing you can do about it because she's gonna want to just as bad as him, than Ryan Gosling. And Idris Elba, but he doesn't count because he's like 30. He's like 35, 34, or like around this.
Yeah, dude. That was the only downplay I feel like for his character, because I was like, he's cool and he's badass, but I just don't feel like you're banging chicks like that, dude.
Yeah.
Which was okay. So, John, you wanted to get to somewhere, and then we introduced the weirdness of the like a school that makes no sense, that has rich kids but also has metal detectors, and it's a public school setting.
I was gonna say it's filmed in Long Beach too. So this is this high school they used is filmed. It's Cabrillo High School in Long Beach, west side. It's the west side of the 710. So it's a sketchy area. It's also used for the first season of Glee and Dodgeball, the shitty gym they used for the.
No way.
This is the same high school.
You would be scared of many episodes of Glee that I've seen.
Yeah. So what I wanted to what I wanted to say was, yeah, he looks 40. He looks way. The worst part about this movie is Lucas Black. I think everything else is so good.
What a badass!
Oh, John. If that's the worst part of this movie's an a fucking B plus, an A.
Without Lucas Black, it's way better. I think they should have recast that guy. Like,
yes, you're right. Actually, I think you're right. Ryan Gosling in that movie. This movie becomes an instant hit.
And he's a star, like an A star, a type actor, way sooner.
Yeah, I agree.
I would agree with John, dude, because I remember watching it as like a teenager and thinking like, oh man, he's so badass. And I'm watching it now. I was kind of like, I was like, bro, you kind of didn't deliver the goods like I should have. I kind of felt like you were just saying these lines, but I wasn't feeling it, you know? When it's just like, let's settle this with a rice. I'm just like, fuck, dude, go ride a horse race.
It's just like you made that point, Ben. It's just like a bad comped cast. Like Channing Tatum, even Channing Tatum, who I think probably, like, I haven't seen Channing Tatum in years, so I don't know. I think they're probably the same. You know, maybe Channing Tatum's a better actor by a little bit just because he's had to, because of the roles he's had to play. But like, I still think I don't even know why you don't cast Channing Tatum, because Ryan Gosling doesn't strike me as the type of person who would be like, yeah, I'll make Tokyo Drift. I mean,
but Lucas Black couldn't have been. Oh my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Lucas Black. He couldn't have been that old, because when did Friday Night Lights come out?
2004.
2004.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. And then when did this one come out?
I think 2006. 2005.
Damn, 3 years and he just fucking hits the wall.
Lucas Black's 38.
Oh my God! How old was he when this was made?
So it's 23.
He was
23 in that movie.
No fucking way. He must have been drinking or some shit, dude, because he looked old as fuck.
Man, white people just don't moisturize, Ben. You know how white people don't clean the bottom of their fucking legs and shit?
Oh, man. Using Dove soap and shit.
Hey, one more month and we got the 15-year anniversary. This movie is released.
Get the fuck out of here.
June 16th, 2006.
Shit, I'm fucking old.
So it came out that time. So every teenager looked 32. right? He makes his way through, the school. It's the day. It's his day throughout the school. Once again, he's just fucking over it. He's Daria, but in real life, he's fucking Dunzo. He's
I just
over
want to work on cars in my garage, man.
That's
you
it.
guys don't understand me.
Yeah, exactly. No one gets him. He's the type of dude that would like after school just find a park and smoke cigarettes and sit down underneath a tree, and that's it. And what
he's Heath Ledger's character from 10 Things I Hate About You.
He's Heath Ledger's character in 10 Things I Hate About You. Exactly.
I would never let you fucking disrespect Heath Ledger like that again.
Love you.
Don't you ever do that.
Sorry,
Heath. They don't know. They didn't know any better.
So then the day wraps up for Sean, good old Sean. I'm just gonna keep calling Lucas Black. I'm just gonna call him Lucas Black. We can call him Sean. Easier. It's just easier. And Lucas Black is the main character. So he ends his day by walking to his car, who's parked next to I'm assuming the quarterback of the star quarterback. I'm assuming he plays quarterback just by his number, who's played, which makes this movie feel 1,000 years old, who's played by the brother the brother of Jonathan Taylor Thomas in Home Improvement.
That was, I thought, why did he look younger than Lucas Black?
Dog, that motherfucker. How was he of high school age? Like, it didn't make any sense.
Well, I feel like you kind of have to buy. That's normal, though. I feel like for most movies, they usually cast, like, I want to say 21 to like 24, 25. But maybe for this one, they just said, we just need to cast, because Lucas Black is so old, we just got to cast a whole bunch of old motherfuckers to kind of balance it out. So I don't know what they're thinking.
And so then we get into, like, I guess, like the first pivotal moment of this movie. I mean, basically, it's what propels Lucas Black into Tokyo, Japan, and it happens to be a fucking sensational moment. So he's walking to his car. Quarterback, bipolar QB1's chick is in the car. She's just hanging out there. God, doing I don't know, trying to figure out ways to irritate her boyfriend. That's basically what it is. If we learn anything about this movie, is that woman is evil. All she wanted to do was find ways to make her boyfriend jealous.
I mean, the theme of this movie is just chicks get you in trouble twice, yes, right?
Yeah.
John, gosh, say it again. John is preaching. Could you say it again?
I mean, in multiple countries too. Opposite sides of the Pacific, and
you really think he would learn his lesson?
No, right.
He's kind of a dick in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
He's trying to fuck your girl. You can't trust this dude. He's trying to fuck your girl, and so. By the way, at one point I don't know what the fuck the theme of this movie was. I was so confused at a certain point. I was like, what is the theme of this movie? Like, at a certain point when Han, dies, I'm lost.
Spoiler
alert. We
Damn.
15-year anniversary.
I don't know how they fucking tied that shit into the movie. We'll get to that later.
We will.
Because I knew when I saw it, I was thinking, like, I knew this motherfucker died like this, and they tried to play it off. Because people ain't gonna go back to watch this shit again.
Yeah.
So it'll be like, oh yeah, he's still alive. But,
so she is just having a conversation. I mean, I don't even know if you could qualify it as. I mean, it was definitely flirting because she was trying to piss.
She's wearing a skirt. She's painting her nails with her feet on the windshield. In
a Dodge Viper that's worth $80,000 purchased for her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's dad purchased an $80,000 Viper for his son, which is what's so confusing. Like, if a person is making that much money,
what a temptress!
It would stand to reason that they would put him in private school.
What if it's a LeBron James situation where the recruiter is trying to get this quarterback to go to like USC or something, and they bought him a car, and they just put it under his dad's name to be safe?
I would believe you if he was black, John. Okay. I would believe you if he was black.
Good point.
But that's a white man with blonde hair who said that's an $80,000 Viper. Too easy.
Maybe he's the Trevor Lawrence of his time.
Yeah, maybe. Trevor Lawrence of his time. There are rich kids that go to school, so maybe I can kind of buy into that. Maybe it's just it's the public school powerhouse, and he wants to go to private school. But obviously we know football is a big theme in the movie when it first starts off. Shout out to Friday Night Lights.
Shout out to Friday Night Lights. I love you, but Ben, I can't stand by this. It just made no sense. It was
okay.
I didn't understand it. So then, right? Also, like a hidden theme, a hidden narrative, horrible parenting. That's a hidden theme of this movie.
Yeah.
None of the parents in this movie are any good. Nowhere to be found. Han is a father to them all.
Just spreading his words of wisdom while he eats his hot Cheetos.
I was gonna say, and now we know the story behind his character. How old do we think Han is?
Oh fuck, dude. Han has to be like
he's got to be like close to 40.
Which is like also like at one point Han says like, "Hey, I thought you would be over schoolgirls, or shouldn't you move on from schools?" And I'm like, Han, you're fucking 38, dude. What are you doing hanging out with a 23-year-old?
Well, no, aren't they supposed to be well, I thought they're kind of like maybe 22, 23, maybe around that. That's the age range I feel like they're getting at.
Well, Han was originally, let's just be clear here. Originally, they didn't think that Han was going to be such a popular fucking fan favorite.
He made that movie, dude.
And so then they were like, oh shit, like we got to bring him back some way. And so then they created this whole story, which we will get to in the deep dive of Han, the Han deep dive. Okay, so QB1's girlfriend. Can we get the name of that character? Can we get the name?
He said QB1.
If we can get the name of that person, because that'd be amazing. So we can just figure his name out.
Cindy is the girlfriend, the chick that just causing issues. And Clay is the QB1.
Played by who?
Name.
Zachary Ty Bryan.
Zachary Ty Bryan. You know him well. He's Tim Allen's son. So, in the movie, Zachary Ty Bryan sees Lucas Black talking to his girlfriend, and he gets so upset that he immediately just like starts making fun of his car, essentially making fun of his car. Lucas Black gets out of there. He's like, I'm gonna go smoke some cigarettes under some trees. Like, fuck this, I'm out. And then this was crazy, guys. This was so impulsive. Like, this is something that I don't think should be talked about enough in this movie. Was he just grabs a rock and
it's not a rock. It's a baseball.
Baseball, which I don't know where he even got a baseball.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Because I said, wait, they're on the football team. Why does he just have a fucking random baseball chilling in his car?
It's the first instance of CTE in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
Writing.
I was like, why would he throw? And it was so impulsive. It was so dangerous. Like, I just thought that was and we see how much and so I understand their whole idea, which is to show that he's on steroids. They're trying to show that he's taking steroids, like he's a football player, he's on steroids, but they do it so poorly. It's so poorly acted, it's so poorly, I think, written, that it comes across as if he's like a psychopath. Like that, it feels like at any point he just hits his girlfriend or something. That's what it feels like. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy.
Guys, come on. They're in high school. Your hormones are raging, and he's on steroids. He's a little insecure. He's
like, even though the car crashes, she probably got those cuts and bruises from him, not the car crash.
Yeah. That was all this. It could have been just an elaborate plan. She's like, hey, I'm gonna need you to flirt with this fucking guy later today, and I'm gonna challenge him to race, crash into him.
That's why he parked right next to him.
That's why he's just like, that would be an amazing, just
singled
like
him out.
Prequel,
what a plan.
Just a prequel interlude. Okay, so now we have Big Trouble in Little China. So now there is a race in a real estate development where there's townhomes being built up. And
how dumb can you be? Gosh, but it's Fast and the Furious. You know,
the game is foot, boys.
We race anywhere.
We racing.
It wasn't even a legit race because that truck took over like half the fucking road.
That was definitely like a I was like, why? And then I saw the dude, like I saw a black guy in the back of the truck, and the only time, and he was like, he was supposed to be an offensive lineman, and he was so skinny, And I just thought, who is there anybody on this set who just watched like a game of football? Like,
Tyron Smith was skinny.
What's up? Yeah, ain't one that skinny. As you can see, some muscle. I was just like, yeah, you got
Smith, the tackle for the Cowboys, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I played against him in high school.
Oh yeah, he's from California.
Beast, yeah, tore my shit up, dude.
Ragdolled you.
Ben was no slouch though.
You know, I was okay.
Shout out to the Bulldogs. Shout out to the Bulldogs.
Fresno State, Bulldog born. Oh yeah, I actually just found one of Devontae Adams because when I was doing my pro day, he gave me some of his cleats for the combine. I just found him in my garage.
That's sick, dude.
Probably gonna try to sell them.
That's right, dude. That's the move.
There you go.
But hey, now back to our scheduled program.
Back to our scheduled program. So the race. So, guys, the race is an unbelievable, fantastic. Once again, Fast and the Furious does not disappoint. I don't know who's the fucking. I don't know if this person's a stunt coordinator. I don't know if this person is a race coordinator. I don't know who you call them, but it has to be the same person because this race was sensational. Like, it really feels like you can plug this race in any era, in any movie, and it works. Like, it is fantastic. They're going at a certain point, he gets bumped off the road. You see Lucas Black's competitive spirit. You see his drive. You see his craziness. You see his defiant nature. And he starts driving through homes. He doesn't care. He's got nothing to lose. And he drives through these homes that aren't built up yet. And you see how crazy he is. And he's driving through these dirt roads. And then at a certain point, like at the very end, he catches up to Zachary Ty Bryan. Crazy name. That is the whitest name ever.
Yeah.
Even though my name is Brian.
That's a Confederate general name.
That is a Confederate general name.
Yeah, I know.
Here stands Zachary Ty Bryan.
God, no, not Tim Allen. Not Home Improvement. No.
Tim Allen knows. Then yeah, we won't go into that. Sorry.
Landowner in Mississippi. Okay, so this is again a moment of just like sheer craziness. Like, is there when you guys saw when she looks at him, an unbelievable amount of confidence. Yet again, he's neck and neck at the end of the race. Looks at her, winks at her. She smiles back. Zachary Ty Bryan sees this in his first. Once again, if that was Ryan Gosling, it would have made sense. But even Channing Tatum, he sees that, and his first decision, his immediate reaction in an $80,000 Dodge Viper is to run him off the road.
Wait, no. First, the girlfriend says, "She's like, do you even love me?"
Oh yeah, this bitch, man.
I was like,
stirring that shit up.
She is so the toxicity is on 9,000, dog. What a toxic ass bitch.
Oh, both of them. So that's how you know she's fucking crazy. And you said bipolar earlier, very much so. But then when he starts banging the car against Sean's car, that's when you know he's rich. He doesn't give a fuck about people buying him shit. And he's just like spoiled brat, pretty much.
Good point, John.
And he's just banging this fucking $80,000 car against Sean's piece of shit, which he said before the race, which got them into this whole situation anyway. And so, I mean, he's losing this race with help. And it's like, dude, you have the girl already. You have the car. You're the QB1. Why are you racing this idiot? And so just got baited into it by this girl that he likes, who it seems to be willing to throw herself at just about anyone. And so that whole relationship is fucked up.
So toxic, dude. Ridiculously toxic.
That's something, yeah. That relationship is crazy. But we should go back. We don't even say why they race. I forgot to mention why they race. Or they're gonna like immediately get into a fight, right? And then Zachary Ty Bryan and his boys are ready to attack Lucas Black. Lucas Black, defiant yet again in nature. All of a sudden, just like a badass, unsheaths a wrench. John, unsheaths a wrench, and then stops him in his tracks. Doesn't move him.
Classic Fast and Furious.
He's a Toretto.
Fashion.
This is yes. We don't stray away.
That's what Mia did in Fast 5.
Dominic Toretto.
Dom, Han, Toretto, Mia. They're all built from the same cloth. All built from the same cloth. This is
I will
crazy.
beat your ass with this wrench. And it's so funny that there was like 10 of them. I was like, dude, it's just a wrench. I mean, what? Like, come on.
And they were all like, "We got your back, bro." And I'm like, "Fuck off! It's 1v1."
Yeah, which is once again, which 1v1 never lasted long in high school, for whatever reason. I never understood that the 1v1 rule. I like. Once somebody started getting their ass rocked, fucking foot flies in. One of the worst parts of the 1v1 game. No one respects
they don't have
one game.
No more honor anymore. It's not like Game of Thrones, you know?
Yeah. So she stirs up the pot and she says, we've talked about the pot stir. She says she stops him, right? Because she goes, there's not attention on me. That's why she did it. It wasn't because she didn't want to see these guys. If these guys were fighting over me in the moment, I would have taken it. But she says to have a race, and then he says, Lucas Black says a thing which I just believe like everybody says, so they don't have to enter a race, which is like I only race for pink slips, because who's crazy enough to race for pink slips? And then she says, whoever wins gets me, and that is toxic.
Dude, she wants. It's like she's putting up between QB1. Guy's probably got like a D1 scholarly, like waiting somewhere with a loaded family, most likely, or a guy who probably puts cigarettes out on his arm in the park. Like
just because he's sad. Just because he's sad, he doesn't even know what he wants. This is an anti-Claire. This is an anti-Claire episode. The least favorite character. I didn't even mind the Yakuzas as much as I hated her, and the Yakuzas are criminals.
I actually like the Yakuzas. You know, at least they have honor in the codes, you know?
Yeah,
these rich white kids operate by a whole nother set of rules.
So which we'll get to right now. So then there's a whole crash that everybody should have died. Everybody should have died. And they just ended up with like bloody faces for whatever reason. Nope, nothing broken, just bloody faces. And he's interrogated by a cop who, like, I don't know, clearly wants to arrest him. It's just like a weird it's like a weird moment where he's just like kind of antagonizing him, and he makes it very clear that these other two are gonna get off scot-free, which once again still makes no sense.
Makes no sense, because I was like, well, I mean, I understand money can afford you a good lawyer. How does that? Oh, what? You're so and so's kid? Nah, get out.
They probably pay for the damages. That's what he meant, I think.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
That's true. Okay, yeah, actually, that does make sense, because they don't even put him in jail because so the mom comes and to bail him out, and then they insinuate.
I got comments on that one.
That she gave sloppy toppy to a police officer in an interrogation room.
She didn't walk out and like when out of the interrogation room. I'm like, what?
Is she?
Is mom piecing this guy up real quick so we can like make sure he's cool?
It just made no sense, Ben, because the way she walked out of there, that's like the way she walked out of there was like I did some shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like the job just got done.
Yeah, like it just felt so, because she came in, she sat down, the cop immediately wanted to fuck her. I don't remember if she had her like tits out. I don't remember.
She pulled a cigarette out and she's like, "Can I smoke in here?" And the guy behind the character, the cop, is a sign that says no smoking. And so you know right then and there, the shit's on. Someone's not going to jail. So
there was a vibe. There's
definitely a vibe, man.
There's some tension.
There may have been Badussi in that room, Ben.
I mean, think about this police officer, dude. He's in fucking bumfuck Arizona, boring as shit. He's kind of overweight. He's not pulling any tail. Just somewhat, I'm not going to say hot cougar, but she definitely gave like, you know, slutty porn mob vibes. So I get it for sure. Totally get it.
I've seen that category. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's right. That is true. There's been a thumbnail. Yeah, sure. Whatever. We're all grown-ass men.
Yeah, you know, we've done some things and we've seen some things. Come on.
Whatever.
But yeah, the minute she walked in, I said, "Oh, bro, this police officer definitely wants to bang the shit out of his mom."
So
probably did.
He may have, which is, I mean, it wouldn't.
Sean's out of the house in 10 minutes.
And then this is my bad. Like, I get it that we're supposed to, because we get the information that, hey, he's done this before because he says, where are we off to next? I know that's a horrible impression of him, but let's just
where are we off to next?
Gosh dang it, Bobby. That's my Hank Hill. Where are we off to next? And then she says, like, not this time, like, hey, this time you're going somewhere else, you know? And so that was the, like, for me, I know that it's supposed to be the moment where she's had enough, but it doesn't play like that. It plays like I'm sick of this shit and I'm just going to ship you off because I don't want to do this anymore. And it's not till later on when we get to the meet dad that we find out that, like, it's a crazy operation where it's like, hey, you either have to move to Tokyo, Japan and live with your dad or go to juvie.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Is he escaping to a country that doesn't provide extradition, or was it a deal that he has to go to Japan with the court? Is he avoiding like all law enforcement altogether by escaping to Japan? Or is it a deal through the court?
I think it's a deal through the court.
Yeah. It sounds like a good deal because the mom could easily plead, like, you know, he just doesn't have a strong male figure in his life, and his dad's in Tokyo, and if you just give him this chance to move there.
Jerking off the judge as she's saying that. He doesn't have a strong male figure in Tokyo.
I mean, she's got a 2-bedroom apartment now with no one else there.
She's fucking living. She's living.
Officer so-and-so's in there blowing that back out on the regular.
She probably asked the girlfriend of QB1 to park next to the guy or next to their son to insinuate like some shit to go down so she could get
it was a whole setup.
The whole setup. They set him up.
Yeah.
They
get
probably
the fuck out of here.
Mom's the villain of the movie.
Yeah, they probably had celebratory drinks with the weird cop with the weird hair.
The whole court.
That hair is all of. If you got curly hair, if you got thick hair, like cut the sides of your hair, people. Don't be like Russell Wilson. Cut the sides of your hair.
And Russell Wilson's a nigga, so he should know better.
Yeah,
he should know
better, but he don't. You think Sierra would? You know, man, Sierra's all cut up. She's all in love. She got a good guy now. Future.
Sierra,
she's gonna make sure she gets what she gets.
Oh yeah, but okay, we digress. So bad parenting moment number 2. Okay, the dad forgets and makes up some excuse. So Lucas Black goes to Tokyo. He's off to Tokyo, Japan.
Shittiest seat on the airplane, by the way.
What's up?
Right in the middle of the air. He's right in the middle.
Horrible seat.
Can't understand anybody.
I felt so bad for him. After that, honestly, I felt more sympathy for him in that part than anything else. I was like,
yeah, being in the middle sucks.
Because it's like how damn, the flight to Tokyo was long as shit too.
Yeah, was that 7 hours?
It might be more than that, dude. I flew to Peru. It was like 9 hours, dude. I want to say it might be like 14 hours. Nah, it's pretty far. But
we can find out. 14 hours. I always felt like it was 9. Damn. Either way, man, we're talking about like it's farther than New York, son. And we just
11 and a half is what I'm seeing nonstop from LA to Tokyo. So you had to get a flight from Phoenix to LA, which is probably an hour.
Yeah.
So about 13-hour trip.
A 13-hour trip, and he finally gets there, and he doesn't. I don't know. I don't understand how he finds his dad's place, but he finds his dad's place. He gets there. Now we meet Dad. And then how do we meet Dad? He likes Asian hookers. That's what we know. That's the first thing we find out about his father.
You can tell, too, dude. He, like, just got done getting his, like, you can tell, like, the foreplay was just beginning. He just got his meat stuck. Because you could just see, like, you know how our lips are, like, just red? I was like, damn. I said, this thing was just about to get it in.
I think he already paid for it. I think he already paid for one visit, let's put it that way, and then the second visit was about to happen.
He was about to crack off. He was like, hell.
Because he's got the energy of, like, if, I guess, was a person. Like, he's just
yeah, exactly.
He's just like, I guess, like, I don't understand how that conversation happened, how she had to express to the dad, like, hey, he has to go live with you.
Or maybe he was on a bender with her for like 24 hours because he didn't realize it was the correct date.
Which is an all-time classic, like, bad dad excuse, which I kind of appreciate. Hey, I'm not used to the time or the days here because I'm still on American time, even though I've been here the moment that you were born, so I could avoid raising you. So I don't know. I don't know
So
what day
dark.
it is.
God, and he's a military man too.
You
Gosh,
should be on military time.
man
You
of
should know
my,
this.
yeah,
The
men of honor.
the fact that at one point this immediately, like, not only does the son technically cock blocks his dad, technically, right? Like, but the bad parenting, the dad clearly from the moment you start watching the movie, I'm like, oh, you don't. It's not even that he blocked you from getting some. You just, I think, don't want your son to be around. You just don't want to be a dad, dude. And this whole movie, this is when sometimes it's weird because this movie is like, you think their relationship's gonna get lovey-dovey, and it just gets like 10% better, which is so strange as a choice to make as a writer.
Smart. Maybe they're just trying to ground it in reality to where, like, okay, let's be honest. Clearly he's been an absentee father for a long amount of time. Regardless of what crazy scenarios they went through, it's really just like, you know what, Dad? Fuck those 16 years you were in my life. I love you.
And then at one point, he says, "You and I both didn't ask for this."
What a shitty! Oh my god! What a shitty father.
Which is why he decides to live with Han later on in the movie. He feels closer to Han than his own flesh and blood, and that's something that I really can't. And that's why I can't figure the theme of this movie out. I've watched this movie twice.
And because Han had a sick ass past, and he was staying in a fucking closet.
True. If I was 16, and if I was,
he was living in the closet, bro.
Yeah, I don't know if those are those. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to live at a garage with like a full bed for you and 2 nightclubs next to it, or
2 nightclubs with like 25-year-olds that are just
models
ready to go? And you're
models.
like, right.
Come on, dude. Oh god, Han just had the sickest setup, man. What a cool guy. But back to Dad.
Back to just like the first. Okay, so we're going to the first day of school, but I want to say this. It leads me, and I don't know, and maybe do we want to get to it now or do we want to wait? Like, let me know what you guys want to do, but I don't understand the theme of this movie at all.
The theme is
we can hold that till after.
The theme is Waba Key.
By the way, I just want to go back and talk about why this movie felt like it was 1,000 years old. I just remembered one thing. I just want to say this really quick. The race was set around Ba with a Ba. Shout out that chair, Ben. The racist song was Ba with a Ba to bang to bang diggy diggy iggy second. It's great. Like, that song came
when
out
he flipped 18 times.
Yeah, I don't understand. The movie was.
Did you see the Tabasco sauce? I like that part when they did that when the cars with
That comes up later in a deleted scene in Tokyo that I'll bring up later.
Okay, so now we move to first day of school. Lucas Black wakes up. He sees a paper that says 0700 school with no directions, no information.
Now my dad knows how to tell fucking time.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, now you know what 7 looks like, huh, motherfucker? Now you know what 7 is. Before
what a
you
shitty
know
dad.
what 7 is, but now you want me out your house, you know what 7 is. So he sees a note that says 0700 school, and he doesn't explain how he gets there. And this is when I think I like Lucas Black throughout the whole movie, but this is when I really start to like him because I see how industrious he is. I like he figures out how to get to fucking school, which he doesn't even need to do. It's because he's in Tokyo, Japan. He could just fucking take off, and he still does not take off. So there's something in him that's good. There's something in him that's stopping him from. He's a dom, right? Like there's part Toretto in him. Toretto could go full bad, but he doesn't, and he decides to fucking figure. If it was me, if I was Lucas Black, I would have been like, dog, I'm just going to stay here, dude, and I'm just going to let this man whoop my ass because I don't know how to fucking figure out how to get to school. But he figures out how to get to school.
Definitely would have been lost for a few fucking hours, dude.
Yeah, he's late, obviously. And what's up?
Deleted scene. He goes to the train station. He goes to down the subway terminal or whatever. and he runs into DK's second in command, Morimoto.
Oh, no way.
And there's a standoff, and Neela, the hot girl of the movie, comes up to him, says, "Hey, I'll hold your backpack while you fight this guy." Essentially, what she does is she throws his backpack into the train right before the doors close, and so he has to go run into the train to grab his backpack. Doors close, and she yells through the doors, "You'll thank me later." And that's why he was on the wrong train. That was a deleted scene.
Oh shit.
Well, I feel like they might have. Well, John, that kind of pieced some shit together. Why did they not insert that in there?
So you can see, for those people listening and watching, you can watch it on YouTube. It's on there. Just go to Tokyo Drift deleted scenes. There's probably like 6 or 7 of them, which I'll touch on as we go through the story.
Perfect. John is the puzzle
God, what a
puzzle
guru of research, man.
John is the straw that stirs.
I have no life.
John is the straw that stirs the camel's back. I don't know if that's not the right saying at all.
You combine 2 of them.
I combined 2. This is Tokyo Drift after all. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so first day of school. He gets there. Right, the dad just couldn't even be bothered to help him figure out how to get to class.
Yeah. So to continue that point, so when he does get to the school, his class is with the hot girl that threw his backpack the wrong direction.
Neela.
That's why they have that chemistry already. So Ben, exactly what you said. That scene would have helped immensely. I don't know why they cut it out. Didn't make any sense. I think maybe that they wanted to show that he ran into Morimoto at the race at the parking structure first. That's where he met him, and not at the subway for some reason.
What makes it? Ben's pulling out a samurai sword. If you were wondering why we were chuckling in the background.
You got prepared for this.
So then he gets to school, and the Japanese teacher couldn't even be bothered to like try to help him. Like clearly,
how does he like? I'm confused. I'm like, how the fuck is he gonna learn if she only speaks Japanese?
Right.
I'm just like, God.
How does this teacher know he doesn't speak Japanese?
Immediately, she should know, and then be like, Neela, don't you speak English? And then she should be like, yeah, I'll do. Yeah. She didn't even say like, hello.
I didn't realize, hey, let's be real. I don't even know her accent goes from Australian to American to British, and I don't know what the fuck is, but she looks Mexican. I'm like, who is this?
So she is Peruvian, Argentinian, Australian.
Damn.
Wow.
That's a dangerous combination, boy.
That's a dangerous.
You know what else she is too, John? Fine.
According to this picture in 2020, she is still very attractive.
She's on this one show I was watching, Beauty and the Baker. Don't judge me. Yeah, she's pretty hot in that too, still. But
okay, so we move forward as there's no English being translated. He has no idea. He clearly speaks another fucking language, and this professor. Yeah, the teacher's just like, no. And then he somehow finally figures out, which probably Neela goes, you need to put some slippers on. And then he puts on these white slippers, which I don't know why they need to do it, but it's cultural, obviously. Just it seems.
How do you know that the teacher's yelling?
I mean, if you've ever been to an Asian person's house, you know to take your shoes off.
It just seems like for me, all I think about is my back and how inefficient it would be for me to take shoes off and put other shoes on. I just think about my lower back. I'm like, I would hate that.
That's what you ask for.
Every fucking period, dude. Oh hell no, man.
Every period, you know what I mean? Like crazy.
Wabaki, bro. Wabaki's nuts, man. Get out of here.
I knew that was coming.
Wabaki, bro. Wobble these nuts. Okay, so we move into the best friend, guys. Full disclosure, I'm actually a big Bow Wow guy. I was a big Bow Wow guy. My Venmo profile is Bow Wow. So if you ever just want to start Venmoing me money, I'll take it. Just it's Bow Wow. You don't need to do that. But so we meet Bow Wow and an absolute entrepreneur, just ready to make a penny. He doesn't
true hustler.
A true hustler in the word. He's at one point he's in the club and he's trying to sell Japanese Fat Joe Snickers.
Man,
you guys saw Japanese Fat Joe in the background, right?
You know, oh man, was he?
Yo, no, Ben.
Oh wait, I know what you're talking about. Yes, the dude sitting on the couch.
He was
I thought
that
to
was
myself,
that was Japanese
that
Fat
was
Joe grinding, but
straight up.
he's the consummate hustler. John, do you want to say something?
I was gonna say in continuity, this makes no sense. All the shit he's hawking, because if this movie's supposed to be after F6, after
Yes.
2015,
Which will yes.
I don't want to bring it up now, but it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't
But
make any sense.
Because he made the LeBron James reference.
Michael Jordan.
He makes the Jordan reference. Also,
I said
LeBron James couldn't even get his hands on these, and he has a white do-rag on. But that's another day. That's a story for another day. God, I couldn't get over. I did not like that fucking white do-rag, dude. I was like, oh my God. You're already in Japan. You're already an outcast. You gotta wear a do-rag too? Oh, well, come on. Come on, my nigga. We gotta do better.
You can't make yourself a target. But so we get into it moves quickly. By the way, once again, Lucas Black has no fear. This man is eating things. He has no idea. This cafeteria is a straight up sushi restaurant.
That shit looked, honestly, I was like, damn, this is a setup in high school?
It's a spread.
It was a spread.
It was
I was like, this is dope, dude.
I was really impressed. Like, I don't know what some of those items were, but I saw the sushi and I was like, yo, what? Like, I'm trying to get
I'll toss some soy sauce on that shit and just chow it down, bro.
Yeah, it would be delicious. So Bow Wow and him become immediately. Lucas Black sees Bow Wow's steering wheel, and then they go and check out his car because then they have something in common. And once again, because this movie, which we'll get into more, takes place technically in 2015, it's kind of, I mean, I guess it kind of makes like it kind of works on some level that it's the Hulk, but it also doesn't, because it's a fucking Scion XB. And it's old as fuck, and he calls it his baby. But so
that shit is kind of clean though.
We see, that garage was sick.
Question. So
yes.
We see the parking garage where all of the first race scene takes place.
Yes.
Why do we have that parking garage if we have the parking garage Bow Wow parks his car in?
I know. It's crazy. John, it's fucking crazy.
Wait, no, because didn't he go to pick up his car to go to the other parking garage?
Yeah, so you have two separate parking garages.
Why would you even, you know what I mean?
Park a car over there, homie.
If you know you're going to be at the race, why would you?
Yeah.
True.
It just didn't make any sense, but no one even so we get Night on the Town first race. Now we're here.
Doom. Tayafumo! Hey, that song.
Yeah.
These are my favorite part of all these movies is when we see the racing culture.
Yes.
Every time we're into, whether it's Cuba, LA, Brazil, Tokyo, all this shit it's amazing every time.
And
yeah, I do like that setup. Yeah.
And also it's very, and you get a sense, like, because there's women throughout all of the races, right? And so, like, what was interesting here is tiny butts everywhere. Tiny butts were the rage in 06. Mini skirts,
yes.
butts in this area, in this era, which, by the way, it's 2015 when tiny butts are not the rage. But then again, I don't know how it works out there in Japan. I don't know if tiny butts are still in or if Japanese women are.
Well, they are Asian women. So
I was into it.
They're not going to be too thick.
Yeah, no, I'm not going tiny butts. Yuck. But
some of those fashion choices were like, damn, dude, yeah. Oh no, he didn't.
All right, you gotta pause this. Take it off.
That's definitely going to be the intro.
Oh, there you go.
That's the intro. Drift. Okay.
Yeah, but when he rolls up and Sean's just like looking out the window, he's like, "Holy shit, this is better than Arizona."
Yes. Yes.
Like, I ain't going back to Tucson, bro. Like, this makes no sense.
So we get into the second race of the movie, which is, and you know what? Justin Lin does a fucking fantastic job of taking us into this world. Like, we really are Lucas Black. Ironically enough, we are this dude, and we're with him on this journey, and we're fucking in Tokyo, and we think like he has no idea what he's truly about to see. And the first time you see this movie, you have no idea what you're about to see. But
True.
He approaches old Neela, whatever her name is, and immediately comes in the gate so hot, which you think once again like it makes no sense without the deleted scene because you're like, yo, this dude is like, yo, he's out here like he's slinging dick, and she's
Like
about it.
that's the one thing, he is not afraid to shoot a shot. And then you also have to realize too, she's the only one that speaks. She's American, speaks English, so he's probably thinking like, damn, I kind of throw all my eggs in this basket. But actually, no, not really, dude. You're a white dude from America. These Asian chicks will get with you. So
yeah,
but
they would just be like, hey, take me to America, dude. Let's get the fuck out of here. But so he talks to Neela, and Neela's like, yeah, I like you too. And then there's like this strange intimate connection, and then the hothead boyfriend sees it all go down. There's nothing like a hot-headed boyfriend in the Fast and Furious universe. Pause.
It's the second one of this movie.
Second one of this movie, fourth one of the series. We have 4 hothead boyfriends. Or 4 hotheads. We have old boy from the first one. We have Vince. Yeah, Vince. We have the
Carter
Verone. We have Zachary Ty Bryan, and then we have Yakuza's nephew, DK, Drift King. So,
but then again, I kind of honestly, dude, I feel like DK might be low-key one of my favorite characters, but I'm not
I was thinking about this, Ben. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I low-key, because I'm thinking like, okay, bro, like, because we know from the background series, she said DK's grandmother took me when I was 10 years old. So he's known this chick for a good amount of his life. Clearly, we're dating. Yeah, he might be fucking other girls on the side, but what could I say, girl? I'm DK. I'm the fucking Drift King. I'm gonna get bitches. Like,
nephew to a Yakuza.
Yeah, come on, I'm plugged in the Yakuza. I see this random country ass white boy hollering at my chick. I'm gonna be feeling some type of way.
In front of other people who are from the country, who are from Japan, in front of other people who are trying to be part of his life, and in DK's mind, once again, are we pro bad guy again? We keep being pro bad guy.
Well, here's the deal. He didn't even disrespect him. He just walked up, hugged her, and let him know, like, hey, this is my lady, dog. He wasn't like, get the fuck out of here, you punk. He was looking like, dog, this is my chick. So you need to step aside, respectfully. But in good old fucking Lucas Black fashion.
Did not care.
So what did DK do wrong in this movie?
That's what I'm saying. He's the one. Han was fucking him over. Okay. Neela was trying to fuck Lucas Black on the side. All he was trying to do was be a good nephew and commit criminal felonies like a good Yakuza. That's it. He was a Yakuza in training. If anything, the worst part about him is that he's a criminal. But listen, there's nothing that he can do. His father is dead, probably because of the life. And his uncle is the Yakuza leader. He has no choice. He has no choice in the matter. What did he do wrong? I mean, John, you're right. I don't know.
He was just doing his thing, being the best driver he could be.
Trying to be a good.
And you know what? I think that's what made me respect him too. Because I'm thinking, obviously, drifting is hard, and it's to be the best. It has to be extremely hard. So I said the fact that, I mean, he probably practiced day in and day out, trying to master drifting, try to be the Drift King. He said this is DK's mountain. You saw how crazy that mountain was. How long do you think he was up there learning how to drive that shit? Gosh.
That's why he picked the mountain, right? That's what Bow says. He's like, that's DK's mountain.
That's DK's mountain, which is
here
cool.
Comes Sean.
Yeah, and here comes old Lucas Black doing what white guys do, fucking taking over. Fucking
he gentrified Japanese drift racing.
Yeah. What is this? He's the bad. Lucas Black is the bad guy. He is Matthew Perry in 1867. He comes over and he's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm in Japan. I'm a white guy." And then what does he do? Takes it over.
Doesn't even have a car.
Doesn't even have a car. At least Matthew Perry had the decency to have the U.S. Navy. Okay, he puts an embargo on DK's drifting. I'm just doing all history jokes. So that's for all my history people who are listening.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, dude. I was like, let me not be ignorant like I don't know history, but I don't right now.
but okay, so the race is on. It's heated. DK sizes him up, and Lucas Black says, "Oh, I get it. Are you the Justin Timberlake of Japan?" For whatever reason.
Good joke.
It's falls flat, but somehow, DK's affected by it. Turns around, they got beef. They have a race now, and then Han sees this and says he's willing to give him his car, and then they go on this race. And it's fantastic. We get to see drifting for the first time, and obviously Lucas Black does a horrible job crashing and everything. DK drifts up that parking lot at the end, which is like, who expect incredible,
sick,
so sick,
dude. Yes, I was like, oh, he's badass, man. I said he might be an asshole, but he does this shit.
When he comes up that last little stretch,
yeah,
dude, I'm like, yo, this guy's awesome.
Yeah, this guy's awesome, and he show and what's interesting is like you get an insight into who Han is as well. This is where we meet Han for the first time, and we're about to do a deep dive into Han, but you get to see who Han is. Han lets this 16-year-old kid, drive and drift a car that he's never had because he likes his moxie and he wants to test him and he wants to see who he is. And he crashes his car knowing full well that he'll crash his car. And he says at a certain point later on in the movie, I have money. It's trust and character I need around me, which is the question that Lucas Black asks him. Like, hi, you knew I was going to crash that car. Why'd you let me drive it? And then he says, it's a cool ass motherfucker. I have money. It's trust and character I need around me. And who you choose to be around you lets you know who you are. And so Han sees something in Lucas Black because he's in this foreign country, doesn't know anybody, somehow manages to find this fucking illegal street racing scene in a day. It's his first day of school, and he found the illegal street, and he didn't have a dad to tell him where to go.
This kid could just not stay out of trouble, man. God, trouble just follows him.
His fourth high school in how many years?
Yeah, like it's insane. This
you're across the fucking country and still.
Yo, you hit on like the main dude's chick. You made a friend in the underworld. You made another friend in the underworld who loaned you a car. You fucked up that car and you pissed off everyone in the underworld.
What a day.
In like 6 hours.
In 6 hours.
God. Want to get away?
John, you're so right. It's want to get away. John, you're so right. This is Lucas Black should not be he almost ruins the movie, and I don't even think he does a bad job. But this role should have been Gosling's. This role should have been Tatum's. I mean, if
you're gonna fuck this much shit up, you got to be pretty likable, and he wasn't likable.
He just wasn't like, you got to be a little bit funnier. I think, and so he.
I think if he was better looking, we would have liked him more. Is that bad to say? I do feel
that's true.
If he was more attractive.
I did just say like 3 super handsome dudes: Tatum, Gosling, and Elba. Even though, like, if Elba was 22, I guess so. Like, Michael B. Jordan now would be great, but. So we'll get into Han's right-hand man, right? So, and then we'll take a deep dive. So Han shows up at his school like a
because he destroyed his car, so he owes him the car.
Exactly.
Like a real gangster.
Like a real gang. He said he shows up to his school because after the race he says don't leave town, and he shows up and waits for him after school, and he immediately puts him to work, and they drive to this bathhouse, which is still very weird to me, but I don't want to judge on culture because I don't know if there's a cultural thing and a cultural element to the Japanese bathhouse as to why any of these people are at a bathhouse.
I think that is a culture thing, yeah.
I always thought it was more Korean, but
I don't know. But he shows up and he says, "Hey, there's this guy that owes me money. Go get my money from him." And this is one of I think the last tests before he says, "All right, I'm gonna have you ride with me," because he gives him the car keys after this.
Well, with the bear paw, the guy with the bear paw.
Yeah, he tests his courage.
Bro. He was big, man.
Big. He tests his courage by making him get money from a man with big titties and a bear claw tattoo.
Bro, he looked like he played for the.
Who among us
Sumo
would
wrestler.
do that? And he does it he does it. It's kind of anticlimactic because he goes up to him twice, and then eventually he's just like, all right, I don't want to fight this guy. So he just like tosses money. And it's at that moment that Han gives him the car keys. And we're here. The Han character deep dive.
Yes, he totally Obi-Wan Kenobi's his ass, dude. He's like, this is my new young Jedi. Now we'll take him into my week and show him the way of the Drift King.
I can't prove this. I cannot prove this. But I think there's a reason why he was named Han. But also, I don't know if Han is a Japanese name. I just have no idea.
He's Korean.
Han. Oh, okay. Well, isn't he half Japanese, half Korean?
No, he's Korean.
His origin? Well, because we'll get into Han's origin, which is Han is from the United States originally, and this is what's interesting because John talked about it earlier, which was like, hey, the year is 2015. We just don't know it yet. By the time we meet Han in Tokyo Drift, he's quit smoking. He's been with Dom in Mexico, the Dominican Republic, and Brazil. He's an expert thief, as we see in the movies. He's also an expert marksman and a driver. Tokyo Drift takes place after Fast 6. He's seen the world, stolen a vault, broken people out of prison, and bagged Wonder Woman. He was trying to settle down before this, and then his chick died. And after she fell from a plane. Like, what kind of world are we living in? She fell from a plane before it takes off. Again, we started in Echo Park. That was a plane. That was his chick. And so he flees to Tokyo in mourning and just has a lot of threesomes just have threesomes till he dies, apparently. And I think like that's why he connects and he takes Sean in so much is Sean is so confident and defiant like Han. You know, I do think it's no coincidence that his name is Han. And you know, and I think it also I also don't think it's a coincidence that like he has a garage and he takes in all these younger people and he seems
these little misfits.
These little misfits. That's the thing. Like he's trying to do what Dom did for his people. He's trying to start his own network.
Oh, yeah, his little crew.
And Dom has these, Han has these quotes and it's great, you know, and one car in exchange for knowing what a man's made of, that's a price I can live with. Look at all those people down there. They follow the rules for what? They're letting fear lead them. And
gosh, the gems. He really dropped some crucial gems in this movie. The words of wisdom.
And everybody on down there looks like Justin Lin did a fucking sensational job. No wonder he kept. I don't know if he keeps directing them or not, but he fucking rocked the fuck out of these movies. And so from there, you know, we get to that point where now it's 2015. Han's lived a life that's crazy, and I think at this point it's like, well, you know, his purpose may be doing this to help other people, and it's not till the end of the movie where we quote unquote see Han's demise to none other than Chef Chelios, Jason Statham. Fucking Chef Chelios, dude. Kills him and then calls Toretto, which makes sense as to why Toretto was in Japan at the end of the movie, you know. And did I miss anything, John? Are we?
I was gonna say, I don't know if you saw this, but I heard about this a couple of years ago. Maybe like, I don't know, probably maybe 10 years ago ish. Justin Lin's first film he directed was called Better Luck Tomorrow. That came out in 2002. It's an American crime drama. That is about Asian American overachievers who become bored with their lives and enter a world of petty crime and material excess. They're in high school. It's based in Orange County. There is Sun Kang is in the movie. There's a character named Han that he plays. When someone asks Justin Lin in an interview if that's the same Han in the Fast and Furious franchise, he said yes.
Whoa.
That is where we first see Han. And so we know he's from Orange County. We know he's, you know, surrounded by all these Asian American friends, and they get into a fuckload of trouble. I won't spoil it too much. I've only seen it once. It's been a while. It came out in 2002, and I saw it like right after the interview. I think it was.
It's the same character too. Like, well, the guy that plays Han plays him in the series.
Yes, same everything.
That is dope.
And then also the guy that has like shaggy hair in Han's crew, Jason Tobin, is the actor. Plays Earl. Him and the Asian girl are always like spatting to each other.
Yeah.
Along with Bow Wow and the crew. He's also in that movie, but he plays a different character. And then John Cho, who we see in the American Pie movies, is also in that. He plays a character.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And also plays Sulu in Star Trek.
That's right.
But yeah, anyway, so that's the very first. We don't get too much. Han's not a main character of that movie, but we do get to see him. And from what Justin Lin said, he's like, I just enjoyed working with him so much that he wanted to include him in his next, movie, which was Tokyo Drift. And I don't think at the time they knew they were gonna like this would be a continuation of the character, but that's what they ended up doing. And Brian, like you said, I don't think he didn't think people were gonna love this character as much as they did, and for it to kind of like take on a life of its own, to where they were like, yeah, okay, well, shit, we said this back in the day. I guess now it actually is true. That this is the very first time we see this guy. And so, to your point, I think he's exactly what you said. He's trying to do exactly what Dom does, is build a family around him, the people he can trust. He says in the movie to Sean, he's like, why would you let me fuck up your car if you knew I was going to do that? He's like, what's the price of a car to know the worth of a man, or something close to that?
Oh man.
And so
such wise words.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that was pretty fucking cool of him to say, like, that line. I fucked it up, but like that line was just like, whoa.
It's
like, this is deeper than you ever thought.
I have it right here. I have money. It's trust and character I need around me. Who you choose to be around you lets you know who you are. And one car in exchange for knowing what a man's made of. That's the price I can live with. Look at all those people down there. They follow the rules for what? They're letting fear lead them.
Preach, bang, Pastor
bang.
Han.
So that and like that quote is so much heavier now that we know like what he's been through. With Better Luck Tomorrow, with like the previous 2 or 3 films he'd been in with Dom's crew, and like going through all the personal loss with Gal Gadot's character dying. Like he went through a fuckload, and it's actually kind of slow. It's like as I was rewatching this, Ben, he said like you have a different standpoint, like a context of how this all takes place now. It's actually really sad watching Han go through this movie and like being around all these women, because he's still kind of grieving Gal Gadot's character's passing, and so it's much heavier. The second time you watch it, you almost think like he's just kind of like faking all this happiness, being with all these girls and all these models around him, and he's obviously a bit older than everyone here, just based on the timeline. So like the second time, second, third, fourth time I watched it in the past couple of days, it's like, wow, this kind of is super depressing knowing what this kid's going through. Like this guy's obviously like just lost the love of his life, as you just mentioned, and like he's just kind of trying to
these are cries for help, man.
Yeah, he's trying to like mask it all by like building up his own family, his own crew,
and having
but also,
so
like,
many threesomes.
Oh yeah,
so many threesomes.
It's like an unbelievable amount of threesomes. Like,
not a bad life, man.
And so like the first viewing of this movie, you question like where he gets all his money, and now we know he gets it from F5, the Brazilian job, when they open the the safe, and it's loaded for life.
It all comes full circle. And I just, for the people who are listening, yes, that's right. I did say the quote twice. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because you were like, what was that quote? I repeated it again just for the people. I know. But
did it
more than one time because it was that good. Okay. So
I'm gonna get it tattooed on me.
There you go. There you go. Just on the ribs, dude. On the ribs. And then only God can judge with the cross, like in between, like titty fucking you. Like a cross just like right here.
But the cross that like Dom gave Letty.
That's right. That's right. You give yourself the chain too to go around all the way around. All right. So then we get to fun and games. So fun and games. It's so at this point now, it's all fun and games. Lucas Black is learning to drift. He gets a taste of Han's nightclub life. Go ahead.
Let me just interrupt. Is this so? He goes home after this first night out with Han and the crew. Does he get kicked out of his dad's place that night?
No. He never. I don't even think. Does he get kicked out of his dad's place?
I think he's never got kicked. He didn't get kicked out. I think he just left though, didn't he?
I thought he just
remember,
left,
because the dad just went in there and was looking for him to be there, and all the shit was going. And then he was just like, honestly, Dad, you're kind of a piece of shit. So I'd rather live this race car party lifestyle with my new friends.
Another deleted scene shows Sean rolling up to his dad's house or his apartment or whatever, his dad's eating outside with a neighbor that Sean sees through the window awkwardly. And he rolls up in the red Evo and like all decked out and shit, has a roll cage in it and everything.
Oh
And
shit.
Sean gets out, parks it like right in the middle of the street, like everyone else does in this movie, where it doesn't make any fucking sense. And walks out, and he's like, "Yeah, I got a job. For deliveries." And his dad's like, "Okay, like that's a fucking $40,000 car. You've been been here 48 hours."
Once again,
what kind of bullshit have you gotten into, son?
But once again, his dad couldn't be bothered to find out more information.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. Also, what pushes the story forward is this moment, which is Han can now trust Lucas Black, and so he has him drive him throughout the day. They go and see DK's office. He pays a cut, pays his money. Han trusts immediately Lucas Black. He, for whatever reason, he just trusts him. It's probably because he fought a big-titted man with the bear claw tattoo, and he says to him, and he backs him up, and they make bets. DK bets his, I think, Nissan or his 86 Corolla, while Han bets his Nissan.
You know, it's a Skyline for the Evo.
71 Skyline.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Look it up. It's a beautiful car.
All right. I'll actually check it out. So then that pushes us forward as we get into fun and games where Lucas is learning how to drift with Japanese Fat Joe, Thing 1 and Thing 2 who are always arguing, and
oh my gosh.
And Bow Wow, they're all chilling.
That guy has a British. Does that guy not have a British accent? The Shaggy dude looks like Shaggy.
Yes, it makes no sense.
Earl.
Okay.
Earl.
Makes no sense.
Earl.
So then we push forward and it kind of moves relatively fast, and there's kind of no point to like anything up until really you do have some moments with Lucas Black. I mean, he's really going after Nella, and then Neela shares a story. It's just like, when I was first here, they called me outsider, which is, what's the word? I don't want to butcher it. What's the word? Do we know?
Gaijin.
Gaijin. Oh, I hate the word gaijin. They called me gaijin, and so I hate the word. That's so stupid. But so they end up getting together, and so now
his mother took me into my fat, and I've been with DK ever since.
And so, throughout this whole like kind of montage as you're talking, you see Sean practicing drifting at the harbor. So this scene was filmed at Terminal Island, which is the same area the last race in Fast and Furious took place, where Dom and Brian raced the train. So it's like it's in the same area that it was filmed in.
That's wild. That's crazy.
And also another thing about this harbor scene, the fisherman, the one without the hat,
those characters. Yeah.
So cool. This is what I was prepping you for earlier. This is the tidbit you're gonna love. So one of those fishermen, the one without the hat, the one I think who's sitting on the left, is named Kaichi Tsuchiya. I think I said that. Tsuchiya. Yeah, there you go. He, in real life, is known as the Drift King. He is the real life Drift King.
That's the original Drift King.
He is. He's the guy who made drifting popular.
Damn, that's
dope. Motherfuckers don't miss, John.
He popularized drifting in general by drifting in non-drift races. Like, they didn't exist before. He was the first one to do it, really. He's still alive. He's 65 years old. If you go to a bunch of like DVD extra scenes also on YouTube, you can see him actually doing all the the red Evo drifting. He's the one doing all of it. He's doing it so well that the scene director is like, can you look like you fuck up? Because we're trying to portray Sean as like learning, and you're just like murdering all these shots. Like, you're doing it too well. And so he speaks Japanese, and so they're using like a Hot Wheels car to show him how they want the car to move, like on the track.
That's crazy.
And so he's like, oh, okay. And then like they cut to it, and it's like a 12-minute video on YouTube. And then he does it perfectly. You should watch it for everyone listening and watching, because it's amazing. This guy's a legend. And so he consulted on not only this movie, and obviously it was a cameo as a fisherman, showing like, oh, he's doing better now. Now that you know who that guy is, that scene is like so much heavier, because you're like, yo, real Drift King just like said Sean was doing pretty well now.
That's really cool.
And then he's a 2-time winner of the 24-hour of Le Mans. He won twice in 95 and 99. So he's
This guy
also
won Le Mans
he's
twice.
twice. He's also an endurance racer.
John, that's the Super Bowl of that's like one of the biggest races. That's
yeah.
like what
No, I didn't even know what that was.
France.
So
it's a 24-hour race.
And so if you win that, it's like one third of the trilogy. You have to win Indianapolis 500,
Monaco.
and you have to win F1 Monaco, and then 24-hour Le Mans. Those are like the three like legendary races in racing.
Yeah.
And so he was also a consultant on Japanese manga and anime series Initial D, which is like
oh my gosh, I was gonna bring up Initial D.
So the main character in that series is based off him.
Have you seen the Initial D, the movie? I want to say they had to steal something from. It's on Netflix right now.
Okay,
it came out in 2005.
I've seen a couple episodes. Yeah.
Well, this is a live action movie of Initial D.
Oh, really?
It's on Netflix, 2005, and I'm pretty sure if you watch it, you can see how they took kind of like bits and pieces from that one, and put it in this one.
Nice,
definitely.
And so he popularized drifting through it's called pass driving. Mountain pass driving. And so in Japan, there's a word for pass. I think it's toji or toji. And then like racing. And so he popularized. So like the last race of this movie is something he made famous.
On that mountain?
Yeah, on like drifting on mountain roads.
Yeah.
And so this guy, Kaichi Tsuchiya, I think I'm saying that right. Yeah. He's that fisherman. He makes the cameo, and he's
research guru.
He's like an absolute fucking legend in the drifting scene because he popularized it.
I wonder why they didn't have him more in it. I don't know, like play like a stronger character. I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe like he could have. He's doing.
He could have been like Hans. He could have been like Hans' uncle.
It'd have been really cool. It'd have been really cool if he was like Yakuza guy, or something like that.
That would be really cool. So we do the fun and games. We see the bet. He wins. And it's just like it's like the second half of the second act, and there's really kind of, or maybe even just like part of the final act, or the beginning of the final act, because there's really nothing there's really nothing of substance that's happening.
I think maybe it's just you think they wanted it to be that way, kind of like, well, they're just going through life. He's learning how to race. He's learning about the culture. He's making friends. But how funny is it when that blonde hair dude lost and he's like banging the fuck out of his steering wheel, like he's going crazy.
That's where they gambled on the cars and they switched them.
So yeah. I think maybe they were just like, we're running late. We got to figure this out because that like it felt like it had zero stakes to that race. Like there weren't any stakes to that race because really that like we're getting into like this dead zone where this is like the worst to me. It was just you didn't even need to watch this part of the movie up until DK's uncle comes into town and he's dressed legitimately like the Godfather and Godfather 2. Like
I think Yakuza dressed that way though. I feel like aren't Yakuza, I feel like they look more, I don't know, those are triads, never mind.
So
maybe
no idea.
I'm gonna chime in here. There's another deleted scene. When Han is driving Sean for the first time, right after they go to the spa. He drives him by a street, and Han shows him down the alleyway, which is the one he walks down with. Sean literally walks down with a bag of money. He's like, "Never go down here," and Sean asks why, and Han says that's the Yakuza territory. And he's like, and Sean looks down there, and it's all these like it looks like a bunch of clowns, like there's guys dressed in whatever, and he's like, he asked exactly what you asked, Ben. He's like, I thought Yakuza wore suits all the time. Why are they all dressed like all awkwardly and weirdly? And he's like, Yakuza only wear those suits to funerals, and they go to a lot of funerals.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, and that was a deleted scene also.
Once again, why would they not? Who fucking edited this shit though? Does that not seem like a crucial scene? Like I'd be like, oh shit, like
yeah. It gives importance to like that final act where that final scene where Sean walks down there by himself with all that money.
Yes, because I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but then like when John just explained the scene, I was like, okay, that kind of raises the stakes. Mm-hmm. Like, damn, I'm not trying to be spoon fed, but give a nigga a crumb, damn.
Yeah, no, yeah. Totally raises the stakes.
If there's a director's cut somewhere in this movie, it's got to be really good because if all these scenes are put in there, I think it gives it. Not all of them, but a couple of them. There's much
a little more substance, man.
Yeah.
A little more substance and nuance.
Better context.
So then we get to basically the end of the movie, which is Yakuza, the Yakuza uncle, the godfather of the Yakuza family comes in hot, and not even just accuses, but like kind of just like is condescendingly pointing out to DK that, hey, Han's not your boy, he's taking money from you. And DK acts and goes to the garage, and there's immediately a fight, and so guns are involved, but then Bow Wow thinks on his feet quickly and makes
Twinkie.
Yeah. Wait, say that again, Ben?
His name's Twinkie. Is his name Twinkie?
Twinkie. Yeah. Is it Twinkie?
Yeah.
So Twinkie makes some moves. Yeah, that
he's selling Twinkies.
He Snickers, Twinkies. He's selling it all. So he makes.
But I got it, man. I got it.
Yeah. He just says it in Japan. He makes his move and he's able to distract the guys. Neela reaches for a gun, stops this giant gunfight from happening, and then now we're off. And this is when we get to the infamous Chef Chelio scene. But in this moment, they're off to the races. DK's after him. It is your standard chase in the Fast and Furious, but now there's drifting. It's getting crazy, and Han is in. You think at the time it's Han in a car crash, but later on you find out, like 3 movies later, that or at the end of Fast and Furious 6, that Han was murdered. It's just like murdered, and he was murdered, quote unquote.
I don't care what they say. They tried their best to try to tie that fucking shit into the rest of those movies. No, I'm sorry. Like, clearly, Han died in that car blew. Like, he's in the car upside down bleeding, dog. Like, come on. And I don't remember how they spinned it for Fast 6, but I'm not fucking buying that tea, dog.
They showed what's his name throw in the lighter, and it like ignited the whole thing.
Crazy. And then just call Toretto and be like, I'm looking for Dom Toretto. And
well played.
What's crazy is that he's not even dead. He's in the F9 because the last one bombed so hard because they didn't have anybody, that like people missed Han, because Han is the coolest character in the franchise. You got no Paul Walker, you got no Han, you got no Gal Gadot. There's only something Toretto can do.
You're not gonna bring fucking Sean's ass back. Fuck him.
No. Hold on. In the trailer, Sean is there, Earl is there, Bow Wow's there, and Han is there, and there's a rumor Neela is coming back also.
I'm
well, she's hot.
My fucking shit, John. If we get the entirety of the crew,
Tokyo Drift crew, because you got to realize at this point we didn't think that the Fast and Furious franchise was going to continue. The next movie is when Dom comes back.
You're right. Okay, so at this point, there's nothing left for anybody. Lucas Black is very upset. He's trying to figure out how to deal with this. Neil is upset, but here's, I think, to me personally, I think this is the best part of the movie, and it's when Bow Wow gives Lucas Black all his money that he's made selling some shit, and he says to him, "I'll figure it out. I'll be okay." He gives him money like that. One, I think it's trying to seal up the theme. It does, like I said, it does like a poor job, and I think the theme, and like for whatever reason, it sounds like the theme is like friends over family is like basically the argument. It seems like the thesis has been that the whole time, because that's what they've been trying to
friends are family.
Friends are family.
Yeah. I feel like we're missing crucial parts. We forgot the part when fucking Ichigo, I call him Ichigo from Bleach, is one other homie that lost, was beating the shit out of Twinkie because he sold him a broken iPod.
Yeah.
He broke the iPod.
Well, that was part of Brian's point, like where it kind of like there's just all these scenes in the middle of that.
Because Twinkie Loki blows up on Sean. Like,
hold on. Right from the minute Sean gets in the crew with Han to where DK realizes that Han's stealing from him, nothing of significance really happens. Like all of that shit in the middle there, nothing. We don't learn anything. We know Sean and Twinkie are close. We know that iPods are weird to be put in this movie, considered it's taking place in 2015.
Yeah.
We know that there's a love story love triangle already trying to happen. All those scenes in the middle could have been cut, and we could have just added all those extra scenes that provided context that were stripped and taken out of the movie. Like Brian was saying, I was like, I don't think anything in the middle of that is like anything of value. Like the last 15 minutes of the movie are really good, but the 30 minutes before that, don't care. Do not care.
When does he get the shit beat out of him at? Because he hangs out with Neela Pryor, doesn't he? When they're like eating or some shit, and then they go like drifting through the mountain, and DK
that was part of the harbor training where DK shows up and just beats it.
Okay, you're right. Okay, yeah, for sure. DK is kind of badass. I fuck with him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. DK is kind of a bad motherfucker, dude. Which is unfortunate for DK because the race is set afoot, and the way this race is set afoot, it's like the end of the movie, which is it's so strange that, and I think Fast and the Furious, like the producers like figured out because they said we don't have to race at the end of every movie just because we need to have a race. Like the Yakuza uncle should have just murdered Lucas and figured the rest out, but I don't understand his motivation. It's kind of crazy, but he goes up to him and challenges DK's nephew or challenges DK to a race and gives him all of Bow Wow's money as like a payment for the money that is owed. And then there's a race now. Now there's a race and the loser leaves town. This is a criminal. DK's a criminal. Why would he leave town?
They should have just murdered Sean.
Here's the thing, though. He might not be on the radar, though.
Yeah. I mean, he would live there under the radar. It didn't. I was just like, what? Like the last 30 minutes of this movie really just like throw everything they worked for in like the tank, because except for that fucking sick ass race. Or
that race is sick.
So the car Sean drives is the fastback, the 1967 Ford Mustang fastback that we see his dad working on. Sometime like after the first couple of days, Sean arrives in Tokyo. They put a what did I have written here? A Skyline GTR engine in that.
Yeah.
Man, they souped it up, though.
That scene was very controversial because, you know, like the whole theme of this whole series is like you like American muscle, you like Japanese, you know, domestic market cars, JDM cars. They combined them and made it like this ultra super, you know, Captain Planet type car.
He's taking what he's known and he's taking what he's learned and he's saying, I can learn from both cultures, the Japanese culture, the American culture, and together we can work together and
Ben,
drift.
Right. Holy shit, Ben, he's the car.
He is the car.
He's the
car.
Oh shit.
He's the car.
He said gentrified Japan. Gentrified Japan, dog. Gosh.
The car.
Why is the Asian
Sean's the villain in this movie.
Sean is the villain. He goes into another country.
Doesn't respect their cultures, their values.
Yeah. Has no idea what's happening. He's not the right, you know, I don't know.
By the way, in reality, it's impossible to move to Japan and become a citizen.
Yeah, it is impossible. It is impossible.
You can't be a dual citizen.
Well, maybe his dad's in the military, though, so he might have some pull.
He's not living on the base.
I don't think his dad is part of it. I don't think his dad's in the military anymore. I think his dad just wants to bang Asian or Japanese hookers fucking day and avoid responsibility.
He just wears his military gear to pick up on the Asian hooker.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
So anyway, that ending scene on the mountain where Sean whips his ass, DK's ass, and becomes the new DK.
How?
I heard it took a couple of months, or not months, but a couple of weeks to film that because it was so insane, and it was at night. And then another scene that was deleted when that race is done. The Yakuza boss, the uncle, comes up to DK and has his two minions take DK away and put in a car and like immediately drives off. Just like a look of shame, takes him, puts him in a car.
Deleted scene, right?
Yeah, essentially drives him out of the town, I'm assuming, or like out of the city or whatever their agreement came to.
Holy shit!
But in the movie that we see, we don't see that. It was we don't even. I don't think we even see DK get out of the car.
We don't see. Yeah, we don't. I just assumed he was dead.
Yeah, and so
he
he's
fell
alive.
off a fucking cliff.
I feel bad for DK, man. I honestly feel like they should do a spin. I feel like they should bring him back just to fuck shit up.
Yo, they should. DK should run in the different crew. DK should be the protagonist of a fucking Fast and Furious.
we already talked about this. We're gonna create a movie.
That's
this
right.
Is gonna be like episode 11 or 12, where we're gonna create a movie with all the storylines,
Forgot that.
characters, and plot lines that need to be
This
kind
is
of
true.
Get
buttoned
them
up.
all. You know, we look up Verone. We get DK.
Yeah.
We get the other Asian twins because one of them still survived in First Fast and the Furious. They didn't all die, did they? We get Lance and then like, and damn, these Fast Five motherfuckers have been fucking with us too long.
You're right,
and it's time
guys,
to put this to a stop.
And
this is true. We are going to write F10 at the end of F9, and you know what? Maybe we F10 Revenge of something. We'll come up with a title. Revenge of the motherfuckers. I don't know. I just wanted to say
Fast and the Furious 10.
Fast and Furious 10.
The road to revenge. The road to revenge.
The road to revenge.
So and then I don't know if you want to mention the after credit scene where I think you had kind of touched on it earlier, but Dom shows up. We know Sean is a new DK. Dom shows up at the parking garage in Hawthorne Mall where it was filmed.
Get the fuck out of here, John. Yeah. That shit was not filmed. Was it?
Hawthorne Mall is where it was filmed.
God. Location.
Which is why they don't have that cool, like I was mentioning earlier, the cool parking garage in Tokyo, because that was filmed in Tokyo. The actual.
Why did they not just get those? Man, who was storyboarding this
Tokyo shit? Doesn't have generic ass parking garages. You know, they're way cooler than that. But anyway, Dom shows up, challenges Sean to a race. And he rolls up in a nice ass car. I don't have the car written down, but it's fucking nice. And he said he won off of Han while they were running in a crew together. And then of course the movie ends. And so this is the first time we've seen Dom since the first Fast and Furious movie. We realize he escaped. We realize he's out of custody or whatever, and he's in Japan. Because at that time we don't know if he escaped. We just know Brian left him with a 10-second car on Terminal Island and then dipped. And so this is the first time, and I think this is like what
That's all we know.
Yeah, I think this is like what reignited the whole franchise is Dom Toretto showing up there at the end. And I think this is why like the weight of this movie is like so much more than what people thought it would be. And it's a nice little tidbit because I think this is out of all the movies it had like the smallest box office showing. But in reality, like the creators of this and the writers of this movie like really gave like a little present to the viewers, the people.
Kind of saved the franchise a little bit.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying is like it kind of gave a little present to the people that bought a ticket to this movie and be like, yo, good for you to come see this movie. I know this is not the best story, it's not the best characters that we have in this franchise, but we're going to repay that loyalty you showed to us with a little tidbit. Hey, because back in 2006, I don't think YouTube didn't show up for another couple of years. Twitter's not around, Facebook's not around. I think maybe you had MySpace. Or Facebook's around, but it's not as big. So it's all word of mouth. And so you don't have like the internet saying or showing you this scene where Dom shows up again. It's pretty much just this, or I'm telling you at a bar or something, or, you know, a buddy or whatever that I see. I'm like, hey, Dom's in this movie. You need to go see it right now.
That's hilarious, though. Dom's back, dude.
Yeah. It was juice. I'm not going to lie. I remember watching it and I remember thinking like, oh, shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I got friends. I got family.
And so it was so received by the studio. Brian, you had mentioned Justin Lin direct this movie. He went on to direct the next Fast and Furious movie, the one where Dom shows up. He directed Fast 5, which I think is the best one in this whole series.
Best one.
He directed Fast 7, Fast and Furious 6, and then will direct F9. Did probably they're in post-production, I'm assuming. And then he's also directing the 10th and final movie of the franchise. So Justin Lin hit this one out of the park, and they repaid him to go ahead and do that. He also directed Annapolis, that boxing movie, the Naval Academy, with Tyrese. So
and James Franco,
but Tyrese obviously is the one that he's worked with again. I mentioned Better Luck Tomorrow, which he also directed with Sung Kang. And he also randomly directed the third Star Trek movie, the new trilogy. That's one that's taking place in like the 2000s.
Star Trek Beyond.
And Brian, you're gonna like this. Yeah. Brian, you're gonna like this. He's the executive producer on the new Space Jam.
Bang, bang. So is Ryan Coogler.
That shit is going to be. Hey, Michael Jordan is going to be pissed because this shit is going to blow out the box, dog. I'm telling you.
By the way, Ben, we're reviewing that, so
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you already know you're locked into that one. You're penciled.
Oh, fair.
And so,
I appreciate it.
I was gonna mention earlier, the box office wasn't that great on this one comparatively, but for a normal movie, this was a good money maker. The budget was 85 million. The box office was 159 million. So they made money on it.
Huh?
They made money on it, but it wasn't like the billion-dollar movies that they're making like today.
There you go. But boys, it's time to wrap it up. It's time to put the kitten in the caboodle. I don't know if that's the saying. I don't know if that is the saying.
You're fucking all these up, but it's great. Keep doing it.
I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep combining. Say, kitty. Okay. Any last things you want to say about the movie, Ben?
Any last things? Once again, in great Fast and Furious fashion, I feel like the soundtracks are always pretty solid. They have good, catchy songs. Neela, goodness gracious, she's what kept this movie alive because she's so hot. Even though her character is kind of flawed in itself, but then again, they're all kind of flawed.
She's not loyal. She's not loyal.
Women ain't loyal.
The women are just so toxic in this film. It's ridiculous. Down to Sean's mother, to Neela, everyone, all the women are kind of toxic.
Hey,
but
the theme of this movie really is bros before hoes and don't trust white men. Bros before hoes. Fuck
these
your
hoes
parents.
ain't loyal.
I was gonna say a couple more things. The ending scenes, the race was the Mountain Pass race was filmed just north of Azusa in LA on Route 39. You can see the San Gabriel Dam in the background, the racing starting point. And then my two favorite cars of the movie, Han's 97 Mazda RX-7, the one he flips and guys in.
Shit is clean.
The Veilside is a aftermarket parts company based out of Japan. The body kit on that car is worth 17 to 20 grand alone, just the body kit.
More than my Honda Civic.
Yeah,
Fuck.
just the body kit, which is insane. And then of course, I wanted a 350Z after I saw this movie so bad. DK's car, the 2003 Nissan 350Z. It's just he drives it so well. And
DK's a badass, man. He's a badass, dude.
Yeah, I think he's the hero of the movie. And
we're Team DK, yo. That's official. Like, we're not Team Lucas Black, Sean, whatever the fuck his name is. We're not Team Culture Vulture. We're Team DK.
Hey, I fuck with DK, dog. I need them to bring him back in the series.
Does that rhyme? Hey, we fuck with DK. I'm saying
Drift King.
Drift King. But okay, this has been fantastic and amazing. Subscribe on the YouTube channel, First Team Second String. This is a Fast and Furious countdown. From Echo Park to space, a Fast and Furious countdown to F9. I don't regret the title, even though it's a mouthful. I don't regret it because I think it's fantastic and fun to say. You can follow me at Brian_Alonso, and you can follow First Team Second String podcast on Instagram and TikTok. If anybody has anything else to plug, they may plug it. Ben, do you have?
You can follow me at Brown Skin Ken. That's brownskin_Ken. They call me the Black Ken doll. Wabaki.
There you go. Hey, there you go.
I was gonna say you can follow me on Twitter right underneath all of Brian's posts criticizing what he just posted.
This is true. This is true. I said I love America one time, and John was like,
"Okay,
dude." I
was like, "Japan is better."
Whoa, bro! Hey, this shit definitely makes me want to move to Japan for sure.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Ben, we'll have you on for one of the later ones if you'd be more than if you'd come on. So,
and this is starting to feel feel like tradition, man. So any movie you want me to hop on, I'm down for that. I definitely want the popping one, the Brazil one for sure. Definitely, yeah, I definitely would that one. F5, that shit is fire.
But this has been great. I hope you enjoyed the show.